swinging in, and it's a fair ball, and Raena wins it. Champlin Park back to state for the third straight year.
Hello and welcome to Sports Jam for the week of December 11th. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. This week on the show, plenty of hoops and hockey highlights. And later in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we'll meet a three-sport athlete from Osseo who's aiming for a big senior season on the wrestling mat this winter.
Plus, I'll talk girls basketball with the top-ranked Hopkins girls. But first, action from the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic in boys basketball. Last year was one of the best ever for boys hoops in the area. And while a lot of star power graduated, we have some top-level teams in the area once more. Minneapolis Academy and Red Hawks sophomore Jalen Suggs, one of the nation's top recruits from 2020, meeting Park Center. The Pirates get off to a great start. Kahari Broadway scoring on the fast break there. Park Center's up 9-0. Jarius Cook with some big threes early on. That extends Park Center's lead to 14-1. But the Red Hawks slowly chip away at the lead. Lorenzo Smith to Giovanni Beckham, he lays in two. It's an 8-point game. And Suggs goes to work offensively. He drops in the step-back jumper on his way to a 25-point game. So's the Pirates with the lead at halftime. Early in the second half, Datavius Frierson misses for the Pirates. Levante Parker there throws it down. Pirates lead by 12. The Red Hawks, the #1 team in Class 2A, would rally again. Suggs scores. Minnehaha's down just a point. And then he draws a double team and dishes off a pass to Caden Johnson for an easy two. Pirates fall 61-55 to Minnehaha.
Also at the breakdown, Hopkins meeting De La Salle on this one. And the Islanders come out firing. Terrell Terry with the three-pointer puts De La Salle up 12-11. Later, it's Jamison Battle with the three as De La Salle, the six-time defending 3A champion, hits 9 three-pointers in the first half. Second half, and Battle scores another three here. The Islanders are up by 12 with just over 12 minutes left. But Hopkins rallies. Kerwin Walton drains a big three for the Royals to get them back within 5. Walton with 19 in the game. Zeke Naji gets an offensive board and scores 2 more for Hopkins, and they go ahead late in this one. And they convert on their free throws too, including this one from Blaise Beauchamp as Hopkins stages a big second half rally to knock off De La Salle 84-79.
We had to stay positive, we had to defend, we had to make sure we weren't giving them any second chances, and most importantly, we had to make sure that they weren't getting any three-pointers because they had 9 three-pointers in the first half. So we had to come together and knock it down on ourselves, but still play together.
In other games at the breakdown, Osseo was impressive in its season opener, beating St. Thomas Academy 91-77. Emmett Paige poured in 34 points, and Zach Tyson added 27 in the win. Wayzata also lit it up, beating Woodbury 88-64. Jacob Benninga scored 28 points to lead the way for the Trojans. Champlin Park graduated a lot, and the Rebels lost to Minnetonka 70-56. Josiah Strong with 29 points for the Rebels. Armstrong was without Race Thompson this season after he enrolled early to Indiana. Falcons won a low-scoring game, 38-30 versus New Prague. Breck lost an 82-75 battle against Perham. David Roddy had 37 in the loss for the Mustangs. Jensen Beachy, 36 for Perham. And Trutino Grace lost 72-53 to Austin. Well, more boys basketball later in the show. The Hopkins girls basketball team defeated Iowa City West Saturday in one of the girls' games at the breakdown. One night earlier, the Royals played their conference opener against rival Minnetonka. The Skippers start out strong. Off a missed shot on a drive, Zoe Hardwick gets the offensive rebound and putback, and Tonka adds a 12-6 lead. But the Royals quickly gain control of the game from there. Raena Suggs with the first of her 4 three-pointers in the game. Delilah Shakolis takes the entry pass, turns, scores, and is fouled. She had 15 in the game. Hopkins leads by 7. Paige Bueckers averages nearly 28 points a game. She makes this hoop put the Royals ahead by a dozen points. Lead is 20 at halftime as Suggs gets past the defender there. 46-26 Royals at the break. Second half, and it's Bueckers anticipating and stealing the inbound pass. She takes it for 2 more. She and Suggs each score 30 points. Hopkins wins 81-55. We'll hear from the Royals later in the show.
Two more strong Lake Conference girls basketball teams met up in Plymouth as Wayzata played host to the Edina Hornets. It's a close game all the way. Edina's Lauren Ayala misses the putback but gets her own rebound and scores for a 32-30 Hornets lead. Wayzata's Mimi Schrader finds her way to open space and hits a jumper for a 37-36 Trojans lead. Wayzata works the ball inside for 6'3" sophomore Annika Stewart, and she hits the turnaround here for the Trojans. Jasmine Smiley zips a pass to Callie Tyson for the basket and foul, and a 43-38 Wayzata lead. Olivia Coughlin drives and scores for Edina, cutting the lead to 43-40 with less than a minute to play, but Wayzata holds on to win at 44-40.
Breck and Brooklyn Center have had their struggles in recent years, each having to field partial or complete junior varsity schedules for a season. But both appear to be on the rebound this winter in girls basketball, and the Centaurs paid a visit to Golden Valley and the Mustangs in a non-conference game. Brooklyn Center gets the first basket of the game. Centaurs in transition. A lot of Eps with the layup there. Kylie Pond, some trouble for Breck. She'll spot Allie Murphy, and the junior pulls up from 10 feet out to hit the jumper. Murphy leads all scorers with 16 points. Kabaya Hudson takes the ball, drives her right down the lane to score for Brooklyn Center. 11 in the game for Hudson, and BC leads by 2. Breck, though, goes ahead and pulls away. Karina White in traffic scores for the Mustangs. They lead by 6. They'll get an offensive rebound here and score. Breck will take advantage of the Centaurs' turnovers in this game as well. And Beatty scoring there. Breck wins 70-28. Mustangs is the final. And a good win, Jay, for Cooper's girls last week. They beat De La Salle Saturday at the Breakdown.
Yeah, they're a top 5 team now in Class 3A. It looks like a great season in store for Cooper this winter. Still to come on Sports Jam, hockey highlights, plus gymnastics and more. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. Time to talk girls hockey.
Some good teams in the area, and we're pretty deep into the schedule already. Champlain Park, Coon Rapids facing Osseo Park Center in Northwest Suburban Conference play Saturday night. CPCR is on a power play. Nice give and go as Liz Zarate gets the return pass from Micah Sutherland and then knocks her own rebound in. Champlain Park, Coon Rapids leads 1-0. Less than 2 minutes later, Emily Peterson sneaks a shot through traffic from the point, and Champlain Park, Coon Rapids leads it 2-0 after controlling the first period. Late in the second, the shot from the high slot is kicked out, but Anna Biscalo is there to put the rebound away as she's knocked down. It's a 3-0 game through 2 periods. And the floodgates open in the third. Abby Peterson shoots, and Mackenzie Baker will bury the rebound just 16 seconds into the third to give Champlain Park Coon Rapids a 4-0 lead. They add 3 more from there. Sutherland gets one here. Champlain Park Coon Rapids rolls to a 7-0 victory.
Despite some key losses to graduation from last season, the Maple Grove girls hockey team remains one of the top teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They played host to Andover last week. A giveaway by Maple Grove deep in its own end sets up the first goal of the game. Gabby Kraus buries the one-timer off the pass from Peyton Hempel's 1-0 Huskies. Andover with a misplay of their own. Maya Martinez with a shot off the post and in. Amanda McMahon had the assist there. It's 1-1. Still 1-1 on the third. Jamie Nelson, a shorthanded chance, denied by Lucy Morgan. We go to overtime. Hemp rips a shot off the post for Andover. It's cleared away by the Crimson. A short time later, McMahon maneuvers her way around the defense and slides the backhander in for the game winner. Crimson wins 2-1.
The Maple Grove boys had won 2 in a row coming into their crossover game against Armstrong Cooper on Thursday. The Wings trying to get back in the win column after losses to Blaine and Centennial. AC's Bjorn Jensen forces a turnover and from his knees starts a 2-on-1. It's Drew Wide over to Ben Anderson, and Anderson buries it for a 1-0 AC lead in the first. Same score in the second period. The Wings' Braden Gray on the rush, and he rings it off the goalpost, and it stays 1-0 through 2. In the third, Maple Grove ties it up as Will Peeler's turnaround try to save, but Ian Slotsby puts the rebound in, and it's 1-1 through regulation. And a great chance in overtime Armstrong Cooper here. The wraparound try comes out front. Noah Wiesjohn, though, denied by Ethan Heider on a great save, and this game ends in a 1-1 tie.
Now back to boys basketball. Maple Grove placed third in the state Class 4A tournament last season. They graduated pretty much everyone who played a lot, including Division I recruits Brad Davison and Taiwan Pickford. Crimson faced Rogers in their season opener. First half, top of the key, it's Jordan Belka hitting a 3 for the Royals. They jump out to a 13-6 lead. Ben McNaboe adds a 3 of his own from the wing. The Rogers lead extended to 10 points at 18-8. Crimson cut into that lead on this driving basket by Kyle Dreyer. Still, it's Rogers up by 8 at halftime. Second half, the Crimson connect on some big shots. Jordan Stensland takes the Jared Rainey pass, drills a 3. Maple Grove's within a point. This game goes to overtime, and in OT, great ball movement by the Crimson. It finishes with a dunk by Alex Battist. Exciting game in Maple Grove. The Crimson take this one over neighboring Rogers 59-50.
Also in boys basketball, Cooper hosting Minneapolis Roosevelt in the Hawks opener. Second half, Nate Hill drives in transition and scores as they battle back after trailing by 6 at the half. But Leo Buchwald knocks down a three-pointer for Roosevelt, and their lead grows to 10 at 34-24. Cooper storms back, though. Cam Vaughn drives and shovels to Trocon Massey for the dunk, and the Hawks are within 3. Jalen Justice drives and hits a runner, and Cooper goes up by 3 points, and they lead by as much as 7, but they can't close it out. Buchwald with a shot fake, and he steps up to hit the 15-footer late. The Teddies are in the lead. Cooper gets a couple of late chances, but it just won't go for the Hawks. Roosevelt pulls out a 65-62 win. Cooper hosts Maple Grove this Wednesday here on CCX. Well, we have some pretty solid gymnastics teams in the area this winter, too. Wayzata is one of the teams to watch. The Trojans hosting Edina in a late conference meet. This is Madeline Tapper on the vault for Wayzata. She falls in her landing, but the degree of difficulty for this vault is very high, so she earns an 8.9, best in the meet. Grace Trainer is a top returner for Wayzata in action on the uneven bars here, and she scores a 9.4 and wins this event by more than a full point. Onto the balance beam, Grace's sister Izzy Trainer performs well for Wayzata. She scores an 8.475 to place second on the beam. Izzy is also second in the all-around, and she is second to her sister. Grace Trainer wins the beam with a 9.525 and also takes the all-around title. Wayzata wins at 135.975 to 130.725. And John, exciting thing over the weekend. Congratulations to a former Osseo High School athlete. Boxer Caleb Truax won the IBF Super Middleweight World title Saturday in London.
That was great. A little bit of an upset. A lot of people thought, and in London thought it was a big upset, but congratulations to Caleb, such a great guy, and excited to see what's ahead for him now in his fighting career. Still to come here on Sports Channel, we had an Osseo athlete who fought through a long illness to stay on the field and on the mat. The Osseo wrestling team features some young athletes who are relatively new to the sport, but there are some veterans around too helping to guide the team. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a senior captain who is a leader in 3 sports and is healthy after a tough junior season. Adam Lanners says the years he spent at Osseo have gone by pretty quickly. The 3-sport athlete is in his 6th and final year of wrestling at the school. The senior has left an impression on his teammates and coaches.
Adam's a rock-solid individual that's very, very reliable. You never miss a beat with him. No matter what, he's there every single day. He's always early, and he's always a guy that you can look for veteran leadership, guidance, assistance, anything you ever ask of him, he'll do with a smile.
I've been around here for a long time, and just as the seasons go on, it's like it's not going very fast, and now I'm a senior and it just feels like I was in 7th grade last year. So it's been a cool experience to kind of see all my older friends and brother grow up through the high school, and now I'm the senior and I'm the older one. So
Adam is wrestling at 170 pounds this year and has a shot at reaching the state tournament for the first time, albeit in a tough section. Head coach David Ahmed likes the way he wrestles.
He wrestles his style of match, and he's not going to let an opponent dictate his style. As long as he's willing to stay within his realms to set up the moves that he wants, that's where you're going to see him the most successful. And really, that's with any wrestler. And he's one that's not willing to just step on the mat with someone else and let them dictate the style of the match.
Number 7 Lanners was a 2-year starter at linebacker for the Orioles in football. And although the team didn't win as many games as he would have liked in that time, he still had a blast.
Out there, our defense, I feel like, played as well as we could. We were having fun, playing fast. That's what our coach wanted us to do. And as long as we were doing our job, that's the best we could do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Linebacker kind of controls the defense out there. It's kind of the quarterback of the defense. So I'm looking over the sidelines and always asking, or coach is signaling in the plays, and I'm signaling it to the rest of the corners and safeties and D-line. So it's kind of cool just kind of have oversee the defense and be in charge.
In the spring and summer, Adam plays baseball for the Osseo High School and American Legion teams. The outfielder enjoys the sport and playing with his friends.
Baseball is kind of my relaxing third sport of the year because football is kind of physical and you get beat up, and wrestling is kind of the same thing, cut weight. And baseball is kind of my spring sport, kind of bring it into the summer and relaxing, just having fun out there with my friends and playing.
Adam credits his older brother Andrew for his help along the way. 4 years older than Adam and also a multi-sport athlete, the 2 Lanners boys wrestled for the Orioles together for 2 seasons. A great experience for Adam.
I feel like just growing up, I've always wanted to be like him, and that's always what pushed me to get better, because I was always playing with kids 4 years older than me, and that's just what pushed me to strive to get better. So.
But both wrestling and baseball, and almost football, took a hit earlier this year when Adam came down with a strain of mononucleosis. It went undiagnosed for several weeks during last wrestling season and lingered into the spring and early summer.
I still remember throughout our summer football practices, he was still kind of struggling with those all the way until the regular season of football started in August. And he was really just trying to get a lot of rest. And, you know, him being as dedicated as he is to competing, he was never really willing to just sit out.
I didn't get cleared until 2 weeks before two-a-days, so it kind of lingered through baseball and summer baseball. But, I mean, a 3-sport athlete, I don't get much time to rest. I'm always doing one sport or the other sport, and on the weekends I'm doing something. So in mono, you kind of just need to sit there and rest, and I'm not that person to sit there. So it kind of, I wanted to always be doing something, even though they told me just to sit there and sleep, but I couldn't really do that. So
now a healthy Adam Lanners is looking forward to the rest of his senior year, helping to lead a young Orioles wrestling team. Adam says he'd like to play college football next season and has strong interest in both St. John's and St. Thomas universities. Andrew is now a senior at Minnesota State Mankato and is helping coach the junior varsity while home for winter break. I'll talk basketball with the top-ranked Hopkins girls next. Welcome back to Sports Jam. As you saw earlier in the show, the Hopkins Royals got their first conference win of the season last Friday night, defeating Minnetonka 81-55, and they join us now on the show. We'll start with Paige Bueckers with 30 points in this game, just over your season average. Talk about the win over Minnetonka, a familiar foe. You like coming here and playing this team?
Yeah, they're always good, so we know we're going to get a tough game. They're like our rival. Like, whenever we play them, we know we're going to get a tough game, and they're really good and we're really good, so it just helps us both out when we play each other.
An unbeaten start for your team so far. What has gone well for you in the early going?
Well, I think we've got a lot of work on, but we're getting better at defense. That's what we're working on mainly in practice. Our offense is pretty good, well ran. We are pushing the ball really well, which is our type of game that we like to play. So we're doing that pretty good. And so we're just working on our defense, trying to get better at that.
You play a great schedule. I look at your non-conference schedule, you know, after the second breakdown tournament, you've got Cooper, you've got Edina, St. Michael, and Park Center all before Christmas. How much do you enjoy playing a variety of opponents like that? And they're all really good teams.
Yeah, I love tough games. There's so much fun that way, and it gets us better preparing for March, which is what the main goal is, to win state. So it gets us a lot better, and it makes us prepared for March.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Raena Suggs, like Paige Bueckers, had 30 points against Minnetonka, and congratulations, a great game. Tell me about what worked well for you guys against the Skippers.
I think we out-rebounded them mostly because they're bigger than us, and we played better defense, so that's what won the game.
Year in, year out, I say this about your defense. So good. How much do you take pride on that in practice and working in making it a priority in game situations?
We always practice on defense. It's always defense, defense, defense. So.
What's the key offensively is to have big games when you score 80-plus points like this?
We always have good communication on the ball. I mean, like, together, so we always like have eyesight together, so yeah.
You did fall a game short last year, last 2 years of state. How much have you talked about in the offseason? It was a long way till March, but trying to get there and win it for Hopkins.
We always talk about it every day. We always talk about how we lost, and we don't want to feel that again, so we have to win this time, and we're ready for March.
Raena, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Coach Brian Cosgriff, and this is a veteran group. Most of these girls, almost all the girls that played in your rotation were on the varsity last year. That's got to be a great comfort to you, and certainly helps when you've got that much experience, right?
Yeah, it does, and the kids know what they're in for. They know how hard they have to work. So, you know, we want to take it one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but at the same time, that's what it is. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Paige said, we started well, but we got a long ways to go. What things do you see that still need to improve in this team? And it probably changes from game to game, but for what you've seen in the first few games.
I really think we need to get better at playing defense. We're giving up way too many points. I think we're giving up a lot of offensive boards. Our cuts aren't sharp. We still need to work harder in practice on a daily basis. And you know what? On any given night, your jump shot's going to leave you. So we have to be good in all facets of the game.
You've coached a lot of great players over the year. How much are these two? How much fun are they to coach?
Oh, they're amazing. They're right up there with the best of them. You know, it's hard to say where they rank or anything like that. But what I love about them is they're great people. First and foremost, they're great people. And then after that, they're wonderful basketball players, and I feel very fortunate to be able to work with them on a daily basis.
Thanks, Brian. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, John.
Hopkins Royals, #1 team in Class 4A, enter this week undefeated. They take on Cooper and then another Lake Conference game against Edina. We'll take a break and wrap things up on the show. First, here's a look at our plays of the week.
Sutherland getting it, and then little crossover, goes to the hole and throws it down.
Reese wants another one. How about that?
steal by Bueckers. Going to be an uncontested layup.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience. And as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Our game of the week is a big boys basketball matchup. Hopkins visits last year's Class 4A runner-up Champlin Park, looking for a little revenge after getting thumped by the Rebels last winter. Watch the game live on CCX Tuesday night at 7 p.m. or watch the replay Thursday night at 7. And that's it for this week's show.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Sports Jam.